Hello friends and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be checking out the Stanley Parable. It's a game that I've been asked to play quite a few times, and to be honest with you, I was really into doing it, but I was also kind of taken aback a little bit by the degree with which people sort of want to control the experience that the game is gone through in videos for whatever reason. I've noticed this in the comment sections in a lot of videos anyway, but thankfully, since we don't really have a comment section anymore, at least at the time of this recording, I'm going to go ahead and record it my way, and hopefully everybody's cool with that. So I'm going to be doing with subtitles on, because this is a heavily narrated game. From what I can tell, it's a first-person exploration game with a bit of a narrative going on in the background, which you're shaping by your actions in the game, and I think there are a whole bunch of different endings to it. I'm not sure how long the whole experience is, and honestly, I've stayed completely away from seeing any of it, so this is my first time going through, and I'm just going to be trying to play it the way I'd play it, and the narration's going to go. I'm going to talk over top of it, but from what I can tell, you don't want to necessarily experience the game in that way. By the way, while I'm talking, I'm going to run the credits real quickly for you guys, just because there are a few people that deserve mention, and I was also noticing, before I did this, there are a lot of options in this game, and in good ways, like a lot of details options and things like that. So I'm going to take a quick look at those. I don't want to cut off the people doing the voice work, because the little I've heard is that it has outstanding voice work. And there we go. I think that's probably good enough. Got everybody in there? Nope. A little more. Alright, there we go, good enough. So options, we've got audio, we've got master, we've got music, we've got speaker configuration, we've got sound quality, closed captioning, which we can set to either subtitles only or full captions. I think you'll probably be able to get the point from just the subtitles, hopefully. Also kind of curious or funny that you can see my fraps counter in the corner of the fake computer, but you won't see it in the top of, hopefully, the actual, screen. Otherwise, that's going to be kind of annoying. There's a big red blotch there. So we'll go to video options. You can see there's pretty much everything you could need. We've got different ratio, aspect ratio settings. We've got our resolutions. We've got running a window. There's window, full screen, or borderless. Laptop power settings, a thing that I've never really seen before. In power settings mode, the game intentionally runs at a low frame rate in order to preserve battery power, extending the amount of time you can play on. That's an interesting option. Also, overlay position. I guess there are maybe situations that have like a picture-in-picture or something, maybe? Oh, and there's even a field of view slider. Freaking Call of Duty doesn't even have that. I guess we'll turn it up, I don't know, like there. I don't know what's a good field of vision to see because it doesn't give you a number. I'm used to like 90-something being good, I guess. And then we've got all our video settings. We've got multi-core rendering, filtering modes, shader details, effect details, and all of them are set as high as they go. So I'm sure you're probably tired of looking at this stuff. So let's get into an actual game and see how the Stanley Parable goes. So here we go.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
I really wish he started with "This is a story all about how
Stanley worked for a company
my life got flipped, turned upside down."
He was employee number 427.
I'm in a silly mood today. Hopefully that is accentuated by this game.
He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard.
Alright, so we're a button pusher man.
Came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push.
That is a very inefficient way to type, I have to say. Oh, that looks like the Sears POS system.
427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-ending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in.
Alright, so Stanley's a follower. He enjoys this type of work. He's been designed as a worker bee. He doesn't like to lead. He likes to enjoy, letting his mind go.
Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour.
His voice actor has a great voice, by the way.
One single order had arrived on the monitor for
Oh,
him to
jeez.
follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation.
Ah, I can see how that would be very off-putting.
Clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Alright, so this is where we actually gain control of our character, and you can see this is sort of the attitude and the tone that the game has to it. It's a little bit whimsical, a little bit mysterious, but it's also rooted in a little bit of that, like, Office Space humor, at least from what I can tell, or at least at the beginning. It seems to start out with that implication. And of course, great voice acting will go a long way to make a story very engaging. I mean, if Thomas Was Alone is any indication, I feel like this has a similar approach to it. Very different from the style that they go for in Bastion,
What could it mean?
but still, I think it reads like a storybook, I think.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, maybe I missed a memo. Let's see. We'll look around.
No
We'll see
matter
if there's
how
any
hard
clues.
Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
That's a strange desk. All that's there is a pencil sharpener, implying maybe there is a person. Number 432 sits and sharpens pencils for the entire day. So you've got a copier. You know, there's a couple pieces of paper on the floor. Things look a little bit in slight disarray. I can't actually manipulate any of the door handles, so I guess that's a thing. I'm being extra thorough here just in case I trigger any other exposition moments, because that is sort of where things come from.
Stanley went around touching every
touching
little
things.
thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference. Nor did
it advance the story in any way. Look at the computer. It looks like it's got a floppy disk drive. So this is, maybe this is taking place in an older time period. Maybe this is late 80s, early 90s or something. I can't quite read what that document seems to say. I know you probably want me to move on, but I'm enjoying just seeing what's here. Oh, what does a mug say? I might be able to read that. I like work. I just... Oh, the other cup's in the way. I just hate my boss. Okay, so fairly standard, work so hard type of moment. There's a lovely picturesque mountain on the wall there. Alright, so there's some papers scattered on the floor, implying maybe people left in a rush. Should really have given me that memo, though. Let's turn off these computers and save some power. Maybe the office will promote me. What does that say? I wish I could zoom in or something. There's all these little things that I feel like I'm missing. I can't jump, so I can't really get up on the desk. I can duck, but I can't really do much to get up on that desk to see what that says. Something mighty have fallen, maybe? Yeah, it's hard to make out. I mean, it's as clear as the textures are, and they are fairly clear. It's just a little tough to see what things say. What is this file sticking out of this cabinet? Anything? No. So, of course, this is a game that was sort of designed for someone like me, right? I like to really go and look at all the things that are there. That, looks like Mar, actually, those drawers. Drawers. Which is kind of funny. But, yeah, I'm the type of person that likes to really get into all of this stuff and the nitty-gritty of an environment and really enjoy the, like, the simulatory nature of it. Knowing your city, that looks like Silent Hill to me a little bit. It would be a hilarious reference if that's what it was. I'm sure it's just coincidental, though. But I definitely relish in, you know, all the little details, all the little papers, and the fact that there are things that we can see and touch and move around. In this case, not so much move around, but at least, you know, turn things on and off. Maybe manipulate some doors for now. Who knows where this will go. Are we seeing through to another room there? Oh, yeah, we are. Okay, I thought maybe it was reflective, like it was another panel or something looking back at itself. So this is actually a pretty expansive office environment. So clearly these are people that have some stuff to do. They have some business to attend to. What does that say? I hate Mondays. Yeah, Mondays are the worst. If you work in an office setting, that's what I hear. What's that? Oh, there's a blue cup in there. Alright, so we're going to keep moving. I'm going to make this take as long as humanly possible so don't spoil too much of the game for all you guys, because I've heard that it is definitely an experience worth having.
Two open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Alright, so do we want to be a leader or do we want to be a follower? Well, our character says that he wants to be a follower. I kind of want to be a leader. Let's go off the beaten path and go to the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge.
You're giving me too much credit there, narrator. I'm opening every door that I can, just in case. This is also reminding me a little bit of the environment from One Late Night, if this was like where we would have kept going with things, and we had the access to the whole floor instead of just that little one area. Imagine they started throwing some ghosts in here.
This room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous,
Can I get a drink?
room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider.
What does that say? Journal? I can almost read it. It's just like a little too small. It almost seems like they want you to read it.
Really, really worth it.
Oh man, narrator really hates this room.
A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Maybe I want coffee. What do you know? Maybe I want a drink out of the soda vending machine. Can't really seem to do that, but, you know, it's the thought that counts.
At this
Is the
point,
clock still
Stanley's
working?
obsession
It
with
is.
this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone
Oh,
left.
now he's accusing me of driving everyone out. That's not very nice. Can I at least draw the blinds and look outside? Doesn't seem like it.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
How meta. Too bad he doesn't realize he actually didn't give me very long before he sent me more dialogue. So actually, you're wrong, Mr. Narrator. You've actually contradicted yourself by not waiting long enough. Alright, fine, new one. Let's keep going.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room, and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
So do I want to actually go to where they want me to go, or do I want to take another detour? I don't know. First open door on his left. Let's not go there.
Stanley was
Ooh, a
so
drafting
bad at
room.
following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Yeah, Stanley not that good. That's alright, though. He's a funny character from what I can tell. This is a pretty cool looking environment. It's actually very expansive. Looks a little bit portally, doesn't it? Actually, this whole game has a little bit of a portally tone to it. More specifically, Portal 2. The whole Wheatley thing, I think, definitely puts me in that position. Can I backtrack if I wanted to? Not like I'm going to, because I've kind of picked a path here, but just kind of curious if I can contradict my previous decisions. No, I guess we've moved along a linear path here. But it is kind of cool that there are a few options. You know, we can choose multiple ways to approach this game, and it seems like the narrative does change based on that. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it's in motion will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, $1,000. Penalty jumping off, $5,000. But if I'm dead, you're not going to get $5,000 out of me.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
We'll see about that.
You
You sound a little too much like Scar from The Lion King for me to ever trust you, narrator.
The story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Good luck on hearing that, by the way, now that I mentioned it.
Neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
Someone I've forgotten about?
Please,
Is it me?
stop trying to
I have
make
no
every
legs.
decision
Am I a
by
ghost?
yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. I'm asking for her.
Uh-oh, narrator knows some things we don't know about.
Stanley, your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside.
Too bad I
to
can't
let
move
her
this
back
around.
into
I
your
kind of want to,
life.
like, trolley some
She's
cargo.
been waiting.
Can I set this off to go back to the other side? Kind of curious. I'm pretty sure I probably could have hopped off and onto this this platform down below. Oh, there's an open door down at the bottom, and that one truck seems to have some lights. I wonder if there's a way that I could get to that and leave. I wonder if Stanley could even handle that concept, leaving his job without even having any orders. Really good details, by the way. Little things that you wouldn't normally see, like the insulation up above the vent ducts. I mean, vent ducts in these sort of industrial-style buildings are very common, but seems to have a few more details than I'm used to seeing, so I'm kind of happy about that. Let's keep moving, though. Is this door? Nope. Door does not open. Now, this looks very Half-Life to me. Definitely been in an environment like this. Oh, this room is completely dark. Kind of terrifying, actually. And the door is shut. Oh, jeez.
That's her,
Phone is
Stanley.
ringing.
You need to be the one to do this.
All right.
To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Well, I've demonstrated that I'm not a man to be trusted with any kind of responsibility in this position. So I'm going to try and unplug the phone if that's an option.
As Stanley
Yeah.
picked up the phone, a white light engulfed
What?
him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope.
No.
Hope for a life reunited.
That's not what I did.
Wait. Oh, goodness.
Yeah,
Stanley,
that's what he did.
Did you just unplug the phone?
See that?
No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly.
Ultimate
I didn't
scum.
even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone.
Nope.
He's taken to his apartment where he finds
Nope.
his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity
I did not grasp the severity of any situation.
I wouldn't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Watch an instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person, but if used incorrectly can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back sack and crack."
My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back sack and crack.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process.
These pictures are amazing.
Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
That was pretty amazing.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
So when it showed the orphan, before he lit him on fire, was he lighting a cigarette in his mouth? Because that's not, well, not that it's nearly the same thing or anything, but, like, that's not good either. Not, yeah, obviously one's substantially worse. So the narrative deterioration has resulted in all sorts of strange JPEGs to be put all over the walls. That's kind of strange, but I love it. I really enjoy the humor to this game so far. I've really thought it quite exceptional. So I want to continue to break the rules, though, because I've played this character so far pretty substantially in this one direction, so I want to continue that if I can. Are we going to go up here now? No. We're going to go back on the cargo lift, I guess? Can I hop off of it now? Oh, they've... There's a fence.
Jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative.
Well, that's kind of what I was going for, making as little sense as possible.
It seems this
I wanted to go
place
on
is
that
not
one.
equipped to deal with reality.
This is really fun. This is making me want to just play through this over and over again to see all the different paths. I'm pretty sure that is what you're supposed to do. But it's exciting to see a game that embraces going off the rails to this degree, where basically everything about it is off the rails. So I'm going to continue trying to open up all these doors. And none of them will open. I wish I could go in all the doors, though. Hey, it's this room again.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Alright, we'll see about that, Mr. Narrator. I have plenty of options still. No matter how much you want to try to control me, you can't take away my humanity.
All you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley
maybe you
would.
can.
That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, thank goodness it opened the other one, too. Alright, here we go.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps
Oh,
you're
the
not
narrative
too
has destroyed itself. I'm definitely staying over here, buddy. Nothing you can do. I mean, unless literally nothing is what you can do, and then I will probably head back in the other direction. That is one way to do it. Wow, look at those warped filing cabinets. Alright, I guess I have to go back. I was trying to assert myself there, but if you're not going to give me the opportunity... Can I still go back in? Okay, I guess I really do have to go in the other door. Well, that's really disappointing. Fine, you win. If I turn around, though, if I can still turn around, I'm gonna do that. Uh-oh. It might be too late. Yeah, this doesn't quite look right.
I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage?
Oh, man.
It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that?
This is so funny.
I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Spooky. I'm still here. Can't get rid of me that easily.
I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you
know, I said I was going to talk over this guy for the whole time, but it was almost impossible to do.
You just had to see. Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows.
That looks exactly like the way the doors break apart in Left 4 Dead.
If I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you. You're a
Can I go through here? No.
Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
And with that, folks, we are going to wrap up our episode on the Stanley Parable. This has been a very, very enjoyable experience.
No! Why did you do that?
Yeah,
Quickly,
it's not going to happen.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means
I'm going to continue to do this until the game breaks even more.
So,
So, yeah, definitely go check out the Stanley Parable. It is on Steam right now. I have loved every moment of this. I'm definitely going to be going ahead and playing many more other alternative options and branching paths in this. I really enjoy hearing the way this story is supposed to go along, and then also breaking it is also just as fun. And the fact that we still have that option is pretty terrific. I think it's just going to put me in this infinite loop here, so I guess I probably can't do anything else. Interesting that we at least get to experience what it's like to break the story before the game decides to just put us straight back on the rails. I'm a little sad that they didn't stick with that a little longer, though, because I really enjoyed seeing what was happening as things started to fall apart. Well, I mean, this is pretty much how I play every game that I play, so I don't know, they shouldn't be surprised. But I'm glad to finally run into a game that's designed to sort of give you a little bit of positive reinforcement for that style of play. But if you want to go check out the Stanley Parable and see what trouble you can get into, the link's going to be in the description, as well as my social media links. So if you want to go check out my Facebook page, my Twitch page, my Twitter page, or indie-impressions.com, where you can go to find over 500 other indie games that I've covered video style And they're all sorted and neatly categorized and everything with genres and tags and all that. So if you want to browse around, you're freely welcome to. So I hope that you enjoyed the episode, and I hope you'll leave your own comments and your own experiences with the Stanley Parable in the comment section, provided you can do such a thing. Again, this is on the back of the whole Google Plus scenario that's been unfolding for the last few days, so we'll see what happens by the time this goes up. But wish me luck, and thank you for being here. Hopefully you'll come back again tomorrow for another episode of Indie Impressions. I do a new one every single day, so I'll catch you here, and I hope you have a lovely night, guys. Talk to you later.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might...